Thank you for joining me again. I've not done this in a while, but I make my ham in canes. So I just wanted to go ahead and show you how I do slices of ham. I'm going to actually be mixing the color in front of you because it's something that I don't ever seem to have proportions of. I just add a little here and there. So the main colors that I use are Dusty Rose, Ballerina, Burnt Umber, and Ecru. I use mostly the Dusty Rose. I add a pinch of the Burnt Umber, a little bit of Ballerina, keep it from getting too dark, and usually a tiny bit of Ecru. The Burnt Umber is pretty dark, but it has some orange tones in it, and I feel that we need it for the ham. I don't want to lose it. So the Sculpey is very soft. The Sculpey was the Ballerina and the Dusty Rose. The Burnt Umber and the Ecru are both primo. So I just have to continue smashing this until I see what the true color is. And I am going to compare it to what I make my ham for. I have one left from a batch I made a couple years ago. This is going to be for eggs benedict, but you could also do ham on a dinner plate or ham on a breakfast plate if you like ham and eggs. So I'm just trying to get the tone right, and it looks pretty close to me. Okay, so let me see here. Here's the ham that I have in my eggs benedict, and it looks good. So you saw how I mixed that. I used all the Dusty Rose that I had out, but I'm going to put that color here too so you can see the colors that I had to make it. I know that it's not always instinctual when you begin. Now, what I do from here is I add a whole lot of translucent. Once you have a lot of translucent in, I roll it out into a log. And something about scale is that scale, you want it to be precise as possible. And unfortunately, the plates in the US are different than the plates in other places of the world. Each country usually has its own size plates. So it's going to be a little bit forgiving, but I usually measure dinner plates and divide by 12, of course, to get the size dinner plate that we have at my house. And you could judge the size of your cane based off of the size of one of your plates. This one has pancakes on it, but this is actually a turkey cane that I did for my turkey dinner plates. And so you can see the size in comparison of the plate. So that's basically what I do for the ham. I roll it in the tube and then I start pressing down on top. Because you want that kind of flattened oval. I think I want it a little bit larger than that. That actually looked really good for the size of the dinner plate. But my charms of Egg Benedict are a little bit larger in size. So I flatten on top again, as you saw. And I pinch along the sides to give it a rounded top, flat bottom. And then we color it. Now ham, we want it to have the nice golden toasty look all around the edges. So I take some rust color pastel, my yellow ochre, and I use yellow ochre whenever I'm trying to do brown and browned on breads, even on the ham, even though the ham is much darker. I start with the yellow ochre. Sorry there, guys. So, I'm gonna try to do this right-handed. I'm left-handed, but this is definitely now this type of cane I don't bake. I store it in a Ziploc baggie, and I'll actually have the Ziploc bag in a shirt against my skin if I'm trying to warm it up so I can use it again later. But the ham is really nice and rich and dark and toasty, sliced up. You usually do a thin slice, so you're going to see, you want to be able to see the sides. And then I would also do that on the bottom. Let me do this. And when you actually do chop them to use them later on the charms or on the, when you chop them later for doing the charms is when I texture. You want to do the bottom too. So that is my ham cane, which is very handy. The reason I do it as a cane is because since I do this as a business, I plan on making them in batches. Since you have to condition all that polymer clay, I don't like to waste it. So I like to use it and use it as quick as possible. I try to use canes within a week and a half. Otherwise, it's harder to condense down. You do have to warm it up. So this basically starts preparing us for the Eggs Benedict. But like I said, you could also do a ham and egg breakfast and have slices of ham on the plate. And since we aren't baking it, you can texture it and even give it more golden baked tones on the ham itself if you like it. Let me see if I could get one more slice here. That was super thin. But if you can see there, you see that the inside has the nice pink fleshy color and the outside is that more toasty golden color. Here it is on my Eggs Benedict from a few years ago. And I will be doing the Eggs Benedict later. I just wanted to prepare you for that. So if you do want Eggs Benedict, or you would like to do slices of ham for a ham dinner, or for a breakfast, ham and eggs, or you like the Eggs Benedict, you are prepared and you know how to make it. I wanted to do that so this way the tutorial won't be a monster of a tutorial for the Eggs Benedict. So there we go, and I hope that you get some good use out of this. Since it is a cane, you could make it smaller or bigger depending on the size you need. You'd want it a little bit smaller, like this, if you wanted it scale. But you could just compare it to one of your little dinner plates. Make a scale dinner plate if you don't already have one, if you want to be making dinner. So, you'll see how I texture the ham when we are working on the Eggs Benedict. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you soon. Thanks.